kind of think about it, let's just go ahead and use that, you know, that poison mushroom that we've had? Let's go ahead and use it on, Princess Peach and what have you. So just in case if, she doesn't screw us over again, which, either way, that can get a lot of potentials going on. So, anyways, let's go ahead and use our dice block here. And let's go ahead and get ourselves... Oh, really? Oh, that's just bullcrap. Not only because we only got ourselves a crappy 2, but also because of how the fact I believe we're gonna have to land on that unlucky space right there. Or even to be more accurate, bad luck space. So that could be potentially a bad news. So yeah, to steal a star from Laka 2, you have to pay like 30 coins, just like the chain jump from Mario Party 5. So even though I was one pointing things out. And also, unlike any forms of how it does it in Mario Party 1, and 2, and 3, and especially 4, that you have to pay like 50 coins in order to steal a star from Boo. So, yeah, that can get a lot of differences going on for this point, especially because that, and also the same applies for Mario Party 6, that you have to pay like, I would say 40 coins to able to steal a star. Yeah, from Pink Boo, that is. So, like, you know, it's only appeared on Towering Treetop and Castaway Bay, so... Yeah, you get the idea, but and also there needs to be at nighttime specifically in order to actually just to get the Pink Boo activated. So, but again in Mario Party 7 it doesn't really matter because either way though, that if you get a Pink Boo orb on let's just say on Neon Heights, or in this case Grand Canal, or even Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, that if you land on the Pink Boo space, then you know, you get yourselves like, if you get a star or something, your star will be taken. So, and I believe if you don't have a star, then it'll take coins instead. So, yeah, you get the picture for this point, Pinkie Pie. So, yeah, anyways, though, here we have Block and Load again. So, this time around, though, that Dry Bones is going to be the team of 1 this time. So, whilst Peach is going to be able to team up with us. So... Excuse me, I got something in my throat there because I just had some marshmallows before we did the actual recording sessions for this. Yeah, I know, Pinky. I know for the fact that, speaking of such, it's the fact that during the likes of it a couple of days ago, actually, that I've managed to discover about myself about the fact that, you know how Mario has recently going to be able to continue doing his Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey? As far as for that, most... recent parts, not the true recent part, but in part 26 or something, that for some reason we just had like 2 dislikes on that one specific video on Super Mario Odyssey on day 1. Well, at least as far as the end of February, as far as you're concerned with this, Sonic. So, I'm guessing it's because that most people seem to get pretty tired of Mario videos, so they just really wanted this Sonic video, which... sure enough, I will still able to get back into it until tomorrow, so don't worry, I will promise you guys I would able to actually stuck around with it. So, and as a result though, that you still need to go back onto Kingdom Hearts Final Mix as well. But I will do that until whenever I finish up with Team Sonic Race, oh no, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed from, you know, for the actual Let's Play of it. So, including the World Tour, the final conclusion of the World Tour, and the entire Grand Prix, and including the some extra details or extra videos here and there slightly. But even then, though, I will mention about more details onto that whenever I decide to come back into that game until tomorrow. So, yeah, to get the picture for this point. So. And also about the fact that, you know how the fact that if you're about to be taking a break on Super Mario Party, thankfully, the actual auto-saving feature is, like, whenever you finish your turn or something, well, at least I'm glad that the auto-save feature has now finally been returned ever since back in Mario Party 8 or DS. Because unlike any forms of you know, Mario Party 9, and especially noticeable with Mario Party Island Tour, and heck, even especially with Mario Party 10, and Mario Party Star Rush, and the Top 100, that you can't really save after your turn is over, so that's a bit of a painless, or in this case, it might be feel painful if you manage to go through all that stuff again. Well, at least as far as for the most part though anyway, because even then, that, you know, it just can be a little bit more waste of time if you manage to accidentally, like, not to save your game or something. So, yeah, it can get a lot of potentials there, so... Anyways though, let's get ourselves a 5. And I suppose we could able to go down there, because I believe we'll go ahead and buy something from the item shop, stuff like the golden pipe. And by the way, we got ourselves the custom dice block, which if you remember from Mario Party Island Tour, specifically in Perilous Palace Path board. And basically, if you manage to use the custom dice block, you can choose up to like 1 to 6 numbers. So even that is kind of like how he did by the forms of an Island Tour, except, well, you can only choose either 1 to 6. So, unlike in Island Tour, oh yeah, we got a new minigame, Gridum Goblet. Stay in it till the end. Get tackled 3 times and you're out. So basically, you just move around with the unlock stick, and that's all you have to really do about this minigame. So, yeah, let's go ahead and dodge those charging chucks. So basically, that, you know, in order to actually win this minigame is that, you know, you have to, like, survive until it ends. Well, it all depends though, really, because these CPUs are, once again, is going to be twice as pathetic as it used to be, because again, this is on hard mode rather than very hard mode, or even the unlockable master mode, which I don't know exactly how you're able to unlock that difficulty mode, but at least we'll find out it soon enough. But even then though, we did once again dominate this for the most part, so there we go. Even though that sometimes that the actual pattern of the charging chuck can take a while to able to actually memorize it with, even though that luckily though the charging chucks doesn't go charge right at you in front of it. So there we go then. So turn number 13, here we go. So anyways, let's go ahead and let Peach use the golden dice block, or in this case a golden dash mushroom, sorry. And then, you know, next thing you know is because of how the fact that I feel incredibly bad for her, because as you can see, that Peach doesn't got her star yet. So yeah, that's probably essential when it comes to like some sort of traditions like this. So, and I believe that she might actually get this. Yep, because she actually got herself, you know, a higher role. So yeah, let's just see if how she able to plays out with. So yeah, you get the idea. Although there's actually not only because of how the fact that at this point in time, by the forms of the majority of 2019 so far, that because of how the fact that the reason why that we just had 2 dislikes on specifically part 26 of Super Mario Odyssey Let's Play so far, I think it's because of how the fact that we've been holding up for too many Mario videos throughout the past few years, or in this case, the past I can't speak today for this point. The past few months, or at least even then, the last 2 months since you know, until the very beginning of the month. So, or in this case, at the very beginning of the year. Well, to be more specifically, in 2019. So, yeah, we'll try our best to able to actually concentrate on something else completely, like, you know, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and also same applies for Banjo-Tooie, because now that Sylvester has finally made his return, so even then though, he definitely needs to get back into that, alongside with Applejack, who she's going to be able to doing for that as well. So, but keep that in mind, is that Banjo-Tooie is going to be the most longest game of the entire Banjo-Kazooie series. Yeah, I know that. And also, the Powerpuff Girls still need to get back onto Splatoon before we get to Splatoon 2 at some point next year or something. And it looks like Pum Pum got her next star, so looks like Dry Bones is going 3rd place now. And let's see what the next star space is going to be located in here. And it appears to be on towards, around there. Have we got near to that? Oh, I don't know about you, Pinky. I might as well find this out whenever it's all go next. Well, at least for the most part, because we still got ourselves the golden pipe after all. So naturally, we can able to actually use that. So even then, looks like so far that when it comes to the ally system, I believe the Pom Pom and Dry Bones didn't seem to have the allies yet. So yeah, that can probably wait for the long period of time. But even then though, that it looks like Dry Bones is definitely gonna catch up. So even then though, that, well, especially with the forms of like get to the star space after all. So yeah, what's pretty weird about the forms of Dry Bones in this game, compared to Mario Party 7, and especially Mario Party 8, that he just walks like a creepy zombie every time you actually decide to let him move. So, yeah, it's a little bit odd for that particular animation choice, but I'm guessing it's because of how the fact that they're trying to able to actually, like, I would say they did manage to sort of did that on Mario Party 9 in Ruins Rumble minigame, but at least in that specific minigame, that Dry Bones' arms doesn't stick out as much. Well, at least as far as, like, you know, walking like a zombie. But hey, at least as far as I usually can tell the difference. So there's another star, due to the forms of we actually used the golden pipe. So, naturally, we actually in first place now. Although, I would guessing and presuming that Pom Pom might actually go ahead and steal our stars, so that could get a lot more potentials there. Oh yeah, that's the only thing we need to keep that in mind. And it looks like Toadette's star space is going to be at right towards, like, next to the blue space right there, in addition with the lucky space, of course. Yeah, I gotta say that much. But anyways, we got another ally right there, so what ally should we get this time? It looks like we're about to be getting Koopa Troopa. Yeah. And his dice block is just when his dice block is numbers is about to be shown up. And looks like he's got 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, and 10. So yeah, that could be pretty good, unless if luck usually involves. So yeah, before we get to that, however, though, we got ourselves a minigame to focusing on now. And let's see what we get. It's a pit. And this particular minigame is actually a team-based minigame, so don't get caught when the floor gives way. Watch the red danger panel and don't be on it when it reaches 0. So you just simply move around with the unlock stick, and that's all you have to really do. This minigame can be very difficult either, just because of how the fact that you need to be, well, not so hard on the first 2 rounds, but the third and the final round, it all depends on, like, you know, between the different formations of the forms of the actual red area shape. But even then, we'll get to that point whenever we get to the third and final round. So I believe seem to say is the fact that this minigame is kind of like the equivalent to Merry-Go Chomp or something like that. But it can be very chaotic at points. Oh yeah, this is the formation that Pinkie Pie was talking about. Oh boy. Oh, come on. Oh wow, I actually realized this is actually our first draw in the entire Super Mario Party Let's Play. Oh jeez.
It's a tie.
Yep, it's entire indeed. Yeah. So what happens is to see if you get a tie, much like in the forms of how it does it back in the old school Mario Party days, you don't get coins after doing so. So, but at least unlike in Mario Party 9 and Mario Party 10, that normally in Mario Party 9 and 10, that if you get a tie between 4 players, you still get a chance to able to get yourselves some mini stars, which I have no idea why. I'm guessing because of how the fact that I just want to make it fair. But either way though, at least in this game in particular, at least it does give you an opportunity that you can't get coins from it now. So because of that, you know, we didn't win. So, you know, you get the idea. So there's a custom dice block here, which what Peach actually got. So I'm assuming that she's actually going to be using that at some point, which we've already mentioned about the forms of the custom dice block before. So even then though, that it doesn't really matter how many movements you're going to have to go for, so it's entirely up to you. I think seems to say is that the custom dice block is definitely the best item in the game, just because of how the fact that, let me guess, it's going to go towards us. Yeah, because, you know, we got more stars than everyone else, basically, so who knows, I'm presuming our star will be stolen, so I guess we'll make it fair for Pom Pom right there, but truth be told, I'm pretty sure that Pom Pom is definitely gonna catch up at this rate. Well, full depends on the forms of like how many rolls that she might actually become, so even then though that, and also I believe that she was almost gonna go towards the actual star space to begin with, so hopefully we need to focusing on that at this point, but even then though, we'll soon to save to find out until then, so anyways though, let's see what item that she's gonna be getting. Of course, a dash mushroom, so yeah. So another thing I just want to point out is the fact that I have no idea, but even then though, that tomorrow, that, well, at least in this case, at the time of this uploading session, which is of course the 3rd of March, about the fact the matter is, though, is that today, that the Nintendo Switch has been out for 2 years now. So, I guess there's a pretty good aspiration for this point, or in this case, appreciation with the actual, like, the actual console's release by that time. And, seems to say, about the fact the matter is, though, is the fact that I believe that, if I'm wrong or not, but even then, though, excuse me, I just ate some too many, cupcakes, so, jeez, you're always so obsessed with cupcakes, you know. Yeah, because I haven't made them for at least ever since for quite a while. Let's just take the event space or what have you, just because, I was really hoping there might be some bonus stars that usually utilizes with that, but even then, no, that can be summarized for that stuff, so... Anyways, though, we'll get chased by the actual boulder, very similar to the forms of, like, the Indiana Jones type of feeling. Why is it always boulders, though? But even then, it also does that as well on Mario Party 1, on DK's Jungle Island, or in this case, no, DK's Jungle Adventure. Oh, we have a new minigame, Candy Shakedown. In this one, we need to change the position, or the hand position, into vertical mode. So even then, oh yeah, shake out all the candy. Thrust the Joy-Con like a jar, and shake it until all of the candy falls out. So basically, just shake the bottle with the actual Joy-Con, and you have to do some motion controls. So, yeah, it's a very interesting concept here and there. But even then, no, yeah, you get the idea for that point. So, basically, whoever gets the most candy out of the forms of the jar, whoever wins the minigame. So, yeah, but before you do that, however, though, you have to press that button before you start. Which I'm assuming it might do the same thing for most of the motion control minigames until later. But even then, no, from now on, though, let's go ahead and get these every single parts of the candy out of the jar. So even then, no, we're the first ones to able to accomplish that, even then though, and Pom Pom's got second place, and Peach got in third place, so, and they're just sitting around and having a chat, so even then though that, you know, you get the idea. And also that, oh yeah, every time you actually finish the actual horizontal, or in this case, if you finish the vertical Joy-Con based minigames, you have to switch it back to the forms of horizontal mode. See, even then, because the majority of the game will always utilizes you for the forms of the horizontal position of these kinds of stuff. But even then, just saying. Alright, quick edit right there because of how the fact that I seem to able to actually miscompromise for myself there. But even then, no, because, well, we just have to fetch our dinners quickly. You know, some stuff like the chili dogs, for instance, or anything else for that relatable. But even then, no, you get the idea for that point. So, yeah, looks like Peach got herself Bowser Jr. ally. So even then, though, that it can be very good in most occasional parts. And it looks like that Peach is actually pretty much in the lead when it comes to the ally systems. Even then, though, that seems that so far anyway, we haven't got that much allies to begin with. And that's only because of how the fact that it all depends on the actual dice blocks and all that stuff, so, but even though, no, that can mean so much of it, so, looks like Pom Pom, she's gonna be using her custom dice blocks, even then, though, that she might actually uses that, so, let's see what number she's gonna pick. Of course, the highest is 6, so, yeah, because, you know, just like uniforms and how it does it in somewhat of a similar fashion as a slow dice block from Mario Party 9 and 10, but on the other hand, though, it matches the exact same thing for how it does it back in Mario Party Island Tour in Perilous Palace Path. That you have to like choose between what numbers you're gonna go for. So even then, though, that yeah, that's what I can really count for. And it looks like Pom Pom got herself her 4th star now. So naturally speaking, she's actually pretty much ahead of us at this point. Well, at least it all depends, because as you can see, though we still got more coins than her. Yeah, because, you know, we still constantly winning minigames and all that stuff. The only exception is, of course, it's a pizza, of course. So, oh well, no big deal, obviously. So, obviously, our next star space is gonna be right near to the bad luck spaces right there, which is pretty obvious, because if you see that little star pendulum right there, this actually replicates about the fact that you really can tell that where the star space is going to be located and all that stuff. So, anyways, though, Dry Bones, he's going to be definitely be using the Golden Dash Mushroom, with no doubt. And it seems more accurately, though, that Dry Bones got the most coins at the moment. Yeah, we definitely need to focusing on that, especially. Even with, whenever we're trying to steal some coins from, Lakitu to, you know, Dry Bones, and then that way we could able to catch up with, you know, the Rich Star or something. I don't know. We'll find out whenever we get to the very end of, you know, Whomp's Domino Ruins. So, yeah, you get the point. Alright, so that was our turn out, and seems more accurately though, I think we're in turn number 15, haven't we? I'm pretty sure we're in turn 15 now. See, Fernando, we have, one more turn left until it reaches to, well, I would seem to say that, you know, as I mentioned to you before, that we no longer gonna have to deal with the forms of the last 5 turn events, so we have to deal with, the last 3 turns until when it gets to turn 18, so kind of a missed opportunity, because even then I kind of wish that in the old days, that at least back in the day, they did manage to able to have the last 5 turn events. At least unlike in Mario Party 7, they did actually have, you know, the last 4 turn event, because, you know, the actual Bowser gauge that needs to be done, as I mentioned earlier. And, yeah, you can get the drill for that point. So, anyways though, do we get something from that blue space? Of course we didn't. But again, sometimes the hidden blocks are kind of random. It depends on what space you're in. Sometimes, though, it can be pretty you know, luck-based at times. And we have Drop Shot again, but this time around, though, we need to avoid the bombs themselves. So, this can be very difficult, though, just because of how the fact that, specifically if you ever play this with computer players, sometimes, though, the actual, like, it's so hard to tell whenever you're trying to dodge the bombs simultaneously. Because as you can see, that Peach is actually having a hard time, even Pom-Pom as a result of that too. Because of that though, it might be pretty impossible to dodge any kind of bomb explosions and all that stuff. Even though I will admit though right away, that, oh come on, it's only 5 seconds now. Come on. No! The hitbox is too big! Oh jeez, I can't believe we got screwed over right there. Although, it could be a little bit problematic, but we'll save that for later, because even then, it's just the beginning portion of this Let's Play, so, yeah, you get the picture for that point. So, and quite frankly though, Pinkie Pie, is the fact that, since this is actually the forms of, like, we are doing a Mario Party Let's Play, sorry, I can't speak today, at least because of how the fact that this is the most recent Mario Party, so far anyway. And at the same time, that how the fact that Slim Kirby, he's also doing a Mario Party Let's Play or the Mario Party playthrough, but Mario Party Star Rush for the 3DS. So even then though, that's actually pretty odd. Or in this case, kind of funny actually, because even then, that we are actually doing like both of those at the same time. Well, at least to be more accurately though, that we actually did manage to able to do with, you know, start things off with Super Mario Party, because we actually did done most of the Mario Party Let's Plays throughout the years, but we need to able to actually just to figure out that we can able to redo our Let's Plays of the old school Mario Party games from Mario Party 1 through 8, but we'll might as well find things out during that time. So it looks like Pom-Pom did manage to get rid of her Dash Mushroom, specifically the normal Dash Mushroom. Yeah, you can get the idea. Anyway, so let's see how many Dry Bones he will get, and of course that he always gets lower numbers, like he always gets 1 in every single of his roll, specifically on his character dice block, which even then, you can get a little bit more triple nile and all that. But anyways, let's go ahead and use the Shy Guy dice block again, so just in case for some strategy, for, you know, for the sake of like using it wisely. So, however though, that unlike in Mario Party Star Rush, that in order to actually, like, switch between the allies and all that stuff, well, you can, like, switch between them in the forms of, like, take this, for instance, by the forms of, like, if you become playing as, Red Toad in Player 1, if you somehow obtained Mario as an ally, that you have to constantly press the button until you're able to actually switch between the allies before you can, but even then, though, that can be in so much of it, so, there we go, we got ourselves our next star. Although, it's kind of unfortunate because I'm pretty sure we're going to be landing on that unlucky spaces for now. Well, at least to be more specifically, the bad luck spaces for that matter. So, it looks like the next star is going to be up there. And, did Pom-Pom actually purchase the forms of the actual golden pipe? I don't know, we'll find out. But even then though, well, after the next turn anyway, so, or in this case, yeah, we'll find out soon enough. This is actually the second time we're gonna be landing on this space, but even then though, let's just see how, bad it can be, but even then though, yeah, it looks like all of our coins will be taken, so, damn it all. Hey, that is so much disgusting there. Well, at least even then though, that, you know, we'll just have to take it, I suppose. Alright, so we got another 1 versus 3 minigame, but this time, please be a new minigame. And sure enough, we have a new minigame. What a racket. Alright, lob bombs into the rifle cords. Use the analog sticks to control your character movements. So, it's basically kind of like tennis, but, you know, trying to toss it back to the bombs at the other rivals. So, yeah, basically move around with the actual analog stick and press the right button on the Joy-Con until you're able to actually just hit the racket from. So, yeah, it's very simple and self-explanatory, but at least even for a team of 1, it does have a lot of good advantage for the team of 1, because most of the time in a team of 3, they have to split up. So even then, though, because of that, if you don't split up in during time, then the team of 3 will get screwed over. So, yeah, because in a team of 1, that we've got ourselves a bigger racket, so that means you can able to actually hit an insane amount of bombs if you manage to able to angle yourselves correctly. So yeah, they get the idea for that point. So yeah, that's what I really think about. So there we go. I suppose another thing we could explain about this actually is the fact that recently on our own time that we did manage to play through Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep for the PSP for a while. And seems at the moment I'm at the progressioning of the Terror Story. And what if I got into the forms of the later portions of Terror Story that I seem to have a pretty decent time at it? Well, at least to be honest with you, it's because of how the fact that sometimes whenever the when you're trying to fight the enemies and all that stuff, holy crap, the hitbox, especially with the forms of the damage output, even because of how the fact that, well, Terror was pretty strong and all that stuff, but his movement is pretty at the medium speed almost and all that stuff. But on the other hand though, when it comes to like defense and all that stuff, I think he's pretty defenseless and all that stuff to me though, because either way though, sometimes, although leveling up is still a key thing, the key factor about the most RPG games, don't get me wrong, it's just how the fact that whenever you're trying to do like speed runs and all that stuff, which I don't think that's actually possible, mind you, but you could potentially try to get yourself wrecked by a lot of enemies, and believe me, whenever I managed to able to fight against with Zack the second time actually, on Olympus Coliseum, because he's got possessed by Hades, we just got the insane amount of continues, or in this case we actually died like, I would say 20 or more times, because I always keep on getting wrecked, just because of how the fact that I just cannot believe how the fact that it might be considered. I'm still gonna say that Terra, out of all the 3 playable characters in the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, I still think that Ventus is considerably the easy mode, and Aqua, she is considerably the normal mode, and Terra, he's considerably the hard mode of the game. Well, it all depends because of the actual like movements or the actual gameplay style, and we actually play this on standard mode because I feel like I'm pretty much going to be giving up on beginner mode now, just because, well, beginner mode is just, it just feels way too easy for most of the actual thing. Well, it can be very good for beginner mode for those of you newcomers who are actually just trying to get their first experience of the actual series so far, but honestly, because of how the fact that we actually play the game loads of times now, even especially noticeable because we still into the actual series at this point now, because, well, I'm not going to spoil any details about the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, just because for those of you who have not played the game yet, then we're not going to spoil anything about it, so because of that, you know, you get the idea. Alright, so looks like Dry Bones, he's going to be using that Golden Dash Mushroom, and basically he'll get even insane amount of numbers, and he'll go that way and take a guess. I think he's gonna steal a star from us, so yeah, that could be in so much of it, so yeah, it's to be expected. So Well, obviously because we actually got 5 stars as opposed to like 4 and 1 or 2 for that matter. I have no idea why we haven't landed on that specific happening space where basically there's actually 3 sets of treasures right there. Then I believe, even though it's kind of hard to explain because I don't think we've actually come across into that for not only for the sake of this Let's Play in general so far, but also that we haven't got into that on our own time as well. But even then, we're most well able to figure that out at some form or another. So, yeah, looks like what Dry Bones is gonna get. He's obviously got himself the Golden Dash Mushroom again. Well, at least his first for the most part, though, anyway. And now it's our turn now. So let's see how we can able to figure that out then.